What you're looking at right now is the boxing for a 583 Auto Assist Tanto blade. It's of the Barrage series. It's made by Benchmade. Showing you the boxing right now. It's just some paperwork, warranty stuff. Not a big deal. Now this is the actual knife. It comes in this nice little case. Benchmade. Open up the case, and then you get the knife in this plastic covering. Take it out. If all the boxing, you have a nice little padding in there. Take it all out. I'll show you how I reboxed it to save space later. But I saw online a video about how the 580 was defective. This is the 583, but the only thing that's really different about it is it's a Tanto blade. I personally like the Tanto blades for their look. I mean, it's a personal preference. But they were talking about how the blade will not stay closed unless this locking mechanism right here, which I will get into in great detail later in the video, is in place. Now that was because they bought it off some shady website, and it was not an official Benchmade dealer. Now I'll show you. It is closed right now. Alright, the locking mechanism is not in place. Now it's in place. You see it's up a little bit. Not in place. Still there. That video is not really that big of a issue. The questions that they bring up there are not that big of a deal. Now to the actual knife. This specific knife is a 583 Barrage Tanto Axis Assist knife, which means it's spring assisted. It pops out, it has a Tanto blade. I don't like serrations. I personally like Tantos and unserrated, so that's just personal preference. You can do whatever the hell you want. The blade is 3.6 inches, so that might be a problem depending on your own, your own area's laws. Personally, in California, there are no size limitations, but city by city that could change. A local city actually has a size limit of 3 inches, so this knife would actually be illegal in that city. Now it has the axis lock, ambidextrous thumb studs, and 154 cm steel. So good solid knife. Let me show you the locking mechanism now. Something I really like, keeps everything in place. It's on. Cannot open this. Cannot get it, and it also works in the open position. See, in place. Can't close it because it stops the axis from moving, so that cannot close. Now, you have to know for your own area what the legal terms are for a spring assisted knife. That's something you always need to know, just in case you get a LEO, which, if you don't know what a LEO is, it's a law enforcement officer. Just in case you get some real dick LEO and he decides, oh, I'm going to make an example out of you, you need to know your own area's laws. Now, California Penal Code 653K states that a knife is not a switchblade but can still be spring assisted if you have to apply pressure solely to the blade. This, you have to apply it to the thumb stud on the blade to get it to come out. That's the first thing. Follows California Penal Code 653K. Again, you have to look to your own penal codes to know. Next thing, it has to have a bias towards closing. Obviously, bias towards closing there. It will close if given the opportunity. That's another thing. California, might change based on wherever you are. You also have to look at your own city's laws. And then another thing is it has to have resistance to opening. It can't just, flop around. Like, you can't just do that motion and it flies out. That's not flying out right now, so that's good. You need to apply some pressure and it pops out. Now, I really like how that comes out. It's a nice, clean, draw it comes out real nice, and it's a real nice blade. Big 3.6-inch blade, not nothing like some of those cold steel knives I've seen, but it's a nice everyday knife. Now, it's not necessarily the sharpest blade, but sharpness should not be a seller for you. You can get a blade sharpened almost anywhere for, $5. The store I bought this from, which I always recommend buying from a store. Buy it from the store. You get to see it in person, you get to know it's what you want. But the store that I bought it from can sharpen this blade for $5. Get it to the point where it could shave off all your hair clean. Like, it will be a nice sharp blade. You don't need to worry about that. Sharpness should not be a seller for you. You can buy sharpening materials. Sharpness should not be a deal breaker for you. That is not that big of a deal. Now, one thing that I really like about the Benchmade knives is their warranty. Just their quality is good, but the warranty is a lifetime, and it's a nice knife. Got the locking mechanism that I really like, that keeps it from flying around, which is another thing. If a Leo tries to get you, you can always use that as a reason that it's not a switchblade. It's obviously not a switchblade, but you might get some Leo trying to find some loopholes in laws, and you'll be good. Now, let me show you how I box it for general storage and something like that. Sorry about that, folks. But let me show you how I store it, just in general, for any sort of travel, how I store it. Now, the box has this padding. I take this padding out because the padding, I put it back in, but for now, padding comes out. Let me just get this last bit right here. Alright, so the padding comes out. Now, I stick the plastic that the knife originally came in on the bottom. I will usually fold it to get it nice and neat, but I don't have time for that. Then I stick the foam back into the box. Then I take the blade right here and put it back into the covering and close it on up. I put that back in there. Now, you see at this point, it seems like it's much smoother in there. Then I grab the warranty. Always keep the warranty. You don't want anything to go wrong and you don't know what you legally can do. So then it looks like this. Put the box back over. It's good for storage, good for anything, good for travel. You have a nice little Benchmade blue class knife there.